And welcome back once again. Their motto is getting our patients back to better. Vibra Hospital can do just that. Leah Willis is the Chief Clinical Officer, and she's joining us with more. First, tell us, what is Vibra Hospital and where are you folks located?
So Vibra Hospital is actually a long-term acute care hospital. We're known as a specialty hospital. We're located in Mount Pleasant at the old East Cooper Hospital on Hospital Drive. We've been there for about 2 years. Our job, our responsibility is really to assist those patients who are too sick after they've been in a hospital stay to go home or not ready for rehab, and they just need extended time in a hospital setting. So the average length of stay of our patients is about 30 days. They come to us with a bunch of different diagnoses, but the main ones being unable to wean from a ventilator, or if they have massive wounds, big wounds, and wound care challenges. So those are the two things we specialize in, but we actually see any diagnosis of a patient that just needs longer time to recuperate, and they no longer meet the needs of a short-term acute care facility.
And I see that need more and more often in the Low Country and probably elsewhere in the country, but more so in the Low Country, that people are being released from hospitals because their time is up in the hospital, but for them to go home immediately is going to be a huge burden, not only themselves, but on also their caretaker, and maybe that's just not what needs to be done. And so they can come directly to you folks, which is a hospital that just like any other hospital, but that you can have this extended care and love that's there.
Exactly, exactly. And we do offer all of the amenities of a hospital. We have our own pharmacy, we have our own radiology department, our own lab, respiratory therapist. You know, it's a hospital.
And y'all are really not, in a sense, in competition with the other hospitals, because the other hospitals are working in conjunction with you folks, because you're actually helping out their patients as well as helping out the hospital as well, just in your own hospital there at Vibra.
Oh, absolutely. So our job is to complement the care of the local hospitals. We're not in competition. Our job is truly to extend the care that they were already receiving. We do have hospitalists on site, so we have a physician there 24/7. They work in conjunction with some of the local physicians as well. And then once they're done with our care here, our job is to put them back into the community and get them back to their hospital home. So.
And speaking of that, we're talking about the physician's coverage that's available there at Vibra.
Right, so we do have a physician on house 24/7. We have hospitalists, wound care physicians, pulmonologists, and we would like to, our future growth includes having a true ICU as well as an OR.
And speaking of growth, I can see from the hospitals that have been growing here in the Mount Pleasant area, and I'm sure elsewhere, but more so in Mount Pleasant, the future for Vibra is pretty bright.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'd like to think so.
Expanding over the next couple of years, and you see more of the specialty doctors that should be coming in a very short period of time.
Right. So we're actually, and Vibra is unique in that it has two hospitals underneath one roof. So the idea is that we have the long-term acute care patient, but we also have a tertiary care unit, in other words, a transitional care unit. So that if our patients need additional time, we can actually transition them into those beds, and so they're able to stay for an additional 100 days if necessary.
And usually, what is about the average stay of the patient that comes into Vibra?
It's about 30 days.
About 30 days, wow. And you were saying that insurance care is there as well.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. It functions just like a hospital. They have DRGs, their insurance covers it, and we accept Medicare and some of the Medicaid HMOs as well.
About how many people do you have working at the hospital right now?
About 250.
Oh, that's pretty full size then.
It is, yeah. We have 91 beds, so.
And the care, of course, that you've been giving over the last 2 years, those patients are telling other patients that might need your care, and so is there a possibility of building growth as well I'm sure you would like to see that, but building growth as well in the very near future?
We would. There is a moratorium on LTAC beds currently, so there's certificate of needs and those kind of things. But I think in the future, if things change, we would certainly like to extend our services. We have a large building, and it's not all in complete use, so
Yeah,
we'd sure
very
like
good.
to see that.
Well, Leah, we appreciate you being here today, and I've lived in the Mount Pleasant area for a number of years and didn't know about the hospital. It's great to understand that there is that interim care that's available right here in the Mount Pleasant area. And for those folks that are living in North Charleston and West Ashley and elsewhere, this is the hospital to go to for that interim care. That's no doubt about that. Thank you so very much.
Thank
We've
you.
got more coming up in just a moment. As a matter of fact, I think